Hello and welcome everyone. I'm Patricia Kingston and I'm the Corporate Events Officer at Tourism NI. I'm delighted to welcome you along today for the fourth and final session in our Summer Lunch and Learn webinar series. And throughout this series, we've been updating you on the whole range of useful resources, toolkits and supports available for the Northern Ireland tourism and hospitality industry. During today's session, we're going to be discussing how you can share your stories and content with us to get involved in helping bring to life the wonderful experiences our consumers are having right across Northern Ireland. I'm really lucky today to be joined by not one, but two of our social and digital team colleagues, Sarah Sneddon, our social and digital marketing officer, and Harry Matthews, partnerships influencer and marketing officer. So we're really lucky today. So during today's session, Sarah and Harry will explain exactly what sort of content we're looking for from you, our industry, how we work with social influencers, and how we use your content and our social channels together to help support some of the wider marketing campaigns. Sarah's also kindly going to be staying on at the end to pick up any questions you might have, so be sure to pop those into the chat box in your control panel at any time through the presentation, and we'll be picking up as many of those as possible at the end. Anyone joining us live today, well done for remembering we're on Tuesday this week instead of Wednesday, and I really hope you have something tasty to enjoy for your lunch while you hear from our speakers. So now it's my great pleasure to welcome Sarah Sneddon, who's going to be kicking us off today.
Hello everybody, thank you for joining our webinar today. As Patricia has kindly introduced me, my name is Sarah Sneddon and I am the Social and Digital Marketing Officer at Tourism NI, and I have responsibility for managing the consumer social media channels. So today, myself and my colleague Harry, we're delighted to be here to chat to you all about how you can get involved with Tourism NI by sharing your content and your stories for our social channels, as well as some hints and tips for creating and sharing content on your own channels. Our consumer channels are Discover Northern Ireland or Discover NI. So if you're not already following us, make sure that you do. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. So we would love you to help us with our overall aim of promoting Northern Ireland as a great holiday destination, and we would love your help in receiving some lovely high quality social media content such as video, imagery, or even some quirky stories or testimonials from your customers, or anything new that you might be doing at your tourism experience. So what does good content look like? I have included some nice visuals here, which some of you might have already seen if you're following us, and hopefully you have. And I suppose good content is channel specific. So if you want to share something on Facebook, then make sure you create your piece with that channel in mind. Likewise, if it's for Instagram, then create it for Instagram, and make sure you film in vertical if you want to create a reel. Take a vertical photograph or video if you want to add it to your story, so that you're really maximizing the screen space available to you. It's also really important to share high quality imagery, both with ourselves and on your own channels. You want to really make sure that you put your best foot forward and showcase your experience at its very best. So make sure your images are high res, free from blur, there's no background distractions, and that they really present what you have to offer in the best light. Similarly with video, this medium has become so popular with consumers, meaning it's really important for ourselves and for you in our tourism industry to incorporate video into your marketing plans. And you want to make sure, again, that it's really good quality and it shows your experience off at its best. But to create something that's really high quality, you don't have to spend a fortune. It doesn't have to be an expensive shoot or a film production to capture something really great. So being authentic and key and true to what you offer it is the best thing to aim for. Most of your smartphones have excellent cameras and the option to shoot in 4K. So I would always use that feature if you're taking video. That's you'll just get really sharp, high quality content by switching that on. I'd also make sure that if you're filming outside, that you shield your mic as best that you can, just to reduce any wind or interference. Just put your hand over the mic just to help shield it. And I'd also try and stabilize your phone or your camera, whatever device you're doing, as best you can, either with a tripod or a stabilizer, or just use both hands to steady it, or use both hands and prop your arms up on something if you need to do it, if you need to film handheld. There are some excellent tips, I should say, on tourismni.com, more than I have time to talk about today in terms of creating video content. So after this, or another day, whenever you've got some free time, I would definitely check out what's available on tourismni.com. There's lots of really good resources and tutorials in terms of creating content. And I think Patricia is going to send out a few links at the end of this webinar, so you'll have that anyway. Okay, so for the next point then, I would always encourage people to make sure that content that they want to share with us at Tourism NI is what we call clean content. So that's content that's free from any GIFs or filters or emojis. This just means that we are able to tweak and edit what you send to suit our channels when we're sharing it. It's absolutely fine, and of course I would encourage it if you're sharing stories on your own channels to make use of the stickers and the location tags and all of those things that are available there. But whenever you're sharing with us, we would ask that it's clean content. We also find that seasonal and topical content works really well in social media, and our content plan links in with some of these seasonal themes, and I have some notes on that on the next slide. So in the summertime, or like now when the weather's really sunny, make the most of it on your channels. That's really topical and relevant, and it's what consumers want to see. So yeah, make the most of the good weather, the outdoors, share if you've got anything new happening for summer, any new events or experiences. And finally, again, for your own channels, as well as whenever you share something with us, we would ask that you have all the necessary rights and permissions in place for your content. So that's permissions from, your videographer, your photographer, or any models that you have, just to make sure that everything's above board before you share. Then on to the next slide, and I have just included here some suggestions and practical examples of the sort of content that you can share with us from your tourism experience, and also on your own channels, because sometimes it can be really hard to think of good content ideas. So these suggestions might help you with that. So you can simply share some really great imagery or video content with us. So it could be a tour of your experience, a clip of a really great view if you have one, or just some lovely static photography of your experience. Equally, if you have customers or visitors who captured some great content from coming out to visit you, with their permission, of course, please do share that with us as well. You can also use the likes of a day of, I call them days of the year, as a hook to share something. For example, linking in with World Gin Day or World Tourism Day. There's lots and lots of these social media days. Definitely don't go overboard. I mean, there's probably something for absolutely every single day of the year. So just, if that's something you're interested in, I would just cherry pick a few that are really relevant to you and plan ahead and link in with those. It's just another reason to share what you offer online on a day that's perhaps more topical online. If you're in the hospitality, or if you have a food element to your visitor experience, perhaps you have some really delicious looking video clips or photos of signature dishes, weekend specials, really indulgent desserts, amazing drinks. Feel free to get in touch with us to share that content, and again, why not share it on your own channels and shout about it. Perhaps you've had a customer who's left you an amazing review. Share that with us too. There's nothing as good as word of mouth to encourage your bookings and to make other people want to find out more about it and want to try it for themselves. On the right of the screen, you'll see I have included the themes from our content plan over the summer months. We'll be focusing on summer adventures and activities, road trip ideas, and golfing breaks. And I thought this might be useful to include for you so that you can help align any of your own content to these themes. You know, it'll help sort of maximize the impact if we're all talking about the same things at the same time. And again, you can use this as a guide whenever you're thinking of sharing some content with ourselves at Tourism NI. The next thing for me then is just making sure that you tag us in your social stories when you're posting those. Tag us on Instagram with @DiscoverNI. This means then we have permission to share directly to our own story. I should say now we can't share absolutely everything. We get lots and lots of requests, as you can imagine, but of course we will endeavour to do our very best. And if you don't want the tag to Discover NI to be visible, that's totally fine. You can minimise it or hide it, put it off screen a little bit, just if you don't want it to clutter up the nice visual that you do have. But I would definitely encourage you to tag us in your social posts as well. Just give us that nudge to let us know what you're up to. And then I just noted down the two main hashtags that we're currently using. Hashtag My Giant Adventure and hashtag Embrace a Giant Spirit. You don't have to use these. You don't have to use both at the same time either. You can use one or the other interchangeably, whatever suits your narrative or works best for you. But I just thought good to make you all aware of the two branded hashtags that we're running with at the moment, if you do want to engage and join those social interactions. So now I'm just going to pass over to my colleague Harry, who is just going to talk to you a bit about how we work with influencers.
Hi everyone, my name is Harry Matthews and I am the Partnerships and Influencer Marketing Officer at Tourism NI, and I am going to discuss today how we work with influencers currently and how you can get involved with that. So we currently work with influencers in the bit that they will create content to share the tourism product services that you have on their platform so that you can reach a new market. And we do this in a range of different ways. So we invite them on fan trips, which is often known as familiarization trips, where they go and explore Northern Ireland themselves and create really engaging content. So they visit tourism experiences, they stay at accommodation, and they just display that on their own platform. And it's a really good way to create content and get people talking online through their social channels. We do desk drops where we deliver promotional items in the bit that they will get this to them. They'll read the information that we've sent out to them and share this online, which helps with engagement, gets people talking about what we've sent them. So if you want to get involved with that, if you were sending a small sample of your home brewed whiskey, then you can include that on their desk. They take content of it and they talk about it. We also share discount codes. What has worked really well in the past is when you use personalized codes. It means that the influencer is more likely to share it because they feel like they've got something personalized to them, and it means that people are more likely to use it because they feel like there's an exclusivity to the code. So this has worked really good in the past, and it's something that we encourage people use, especially accommodation providers. We also offer gifted stays. So if a hotel has a spare room going, they let us know and we can work with influencers to fill that room and let you use that promotional activity. We also do blog posts and put these on Discover Northern Ireland. So do make sure that you're registered to our website. And overall, all this activity is shared on our social channels, which Sarah has explained, which our Instagram at the minute has over 80,000 followers. So it's a really good use of that platform to promote your product. So you might wonder, what does working with influencers do for your business? And really, influencers have grown in the past number of years. Social media content has become king in marketing, and it's really good to help reach a new market that you might not reach in your usual form of marketing. It's new followers, and even if there's people following your social platform, they might not be following the influencer or vice versa. So it means you can reach new people in a really effective way. And overall, this will lead to brand awareness, engagement and discussion, and ultimately sales and people booking your product. Because influencers, the name is in their name of what they do. They influence other people to do what they are doing. So people see them doing it online and they think, I want to do that. And that's not something that you can create on your own platform, because you can shout about how great your accommodation is, but until somebody else sees somebody else enjoying it, it's human nature. People want to do what other people are doing and get involved. So it's a really unique way of marketing that is growing, and we need to jump on board. So it's something that we are doing in-house, and we encourage you to get involved and start using influencers to promote your product, because it's a great form of marketing. So you might ask, how do I get involved? And it sounds really great. And what we ask you to do is to get in touch with us and let us know if you have anything new or interesting that you think would work really great online. Perhaps you don't have the skill set to create the content that Sarah's asked you to create. Get involved with us, and getting an influencer in to visit your activity or experience your product will help to create that content. And sometimes you can work with influencers to own the content after they make it, and you can also share it on your own platforms, especially if you ask when they're posting it on their channels to use the "we in collaboration" function. It means that you can share it on your own business page as well. It's something we do a lot. You may see it on our Instagram page. If you look at any of our reels currently, there's some that are in collaboration with influencers, and it's good to see that live in action. So go have a nosy after this session. You can also host them at your own experience or at your accommodation. But what you need to know is, if you have a tour, say you own a food tour and you want to include them on the public tour, influencers don't always work like that. They need a lot more time because they're trying to get the content, so they may need to reshoot something. So it's good to make sure when you're hosting them, do you have the time slot available to work with their needs and prioritize it? Because while it's great for them to see the public on things and see the buzz of it all, it might not always work, because they need to set their camera down and ask you to speak again. They need to record extra things. So it's really just fitting in that when you accept an influencer opportunity from us, that you can work with it and suit it to make the overall impact as great as possible. And then if you have any marketing budget for gift experiences, do let us know, because we work very well with other providers that they will let us have, if they have a spare room going up the North Coast, we can offer this out to influencers and get them filled in, because it's better than you having the room sitting vacant, that you use that promotional opportunity. And if you have any discount codes, let us know. We can promote them out, not only on our own channels, but we can also help for influencers to use them. So really just get involved and let us know what you have to offer, and we can see if there's some way we can work it into our influencer plans or get influencers involved. So thanks for listening to everything that we do with influencers. And now back to Sarah, just to explain how you get in touch with us to get involved.
Okay, thanks, Harry, for that. Hopefully you all got something from Harry's presentation. Then just to wrap up and summarise how best to get in touch. So our team email is digital@tourismni.com, and you're welcome to get in touch that way. We also have a really handy uploader link. It's that share my giant adventure link that's on the screen, but for handiness, it's linked in our Instagram bio. So if you have any content on your phone, if you were doing something at the weekend, or you had customers out at the weekend and they sent you some lovely content, you can just simply go to our Instagram bio, click on that, and upload straight from your phone into that link. So that's pretty handy to do, and that's available to anyone, the public, as well as yourselves in the industry. As I mentioned, please do engage with us on your social channels. Use our hashtags. Send us a DM if you want to get in touch through Instagram or Facebook Messenger. Tag us at Discover NI in your stories. Please encourage all your visitors to do the same. And as Harry mentioned, the in collaboration function that's on Instagram. If anyone has some lovely video content or just something really great on their own Instagram channel, do feel free to add Discover NI as a collaborator to that, and that just maximizes the reach and the visibility of that, and it's shared across both platforms. So that might not be applicable to everybody. We kind of leave that as well to sort of, really excellent top tier content. But that is a new feature that's now available on Instagram. And if you're on our page, you'll see we've used it a few times with different people, and it's worked really nicely. So that's just something I thought I'd throw there in at the end. So that's us. Thanks for listening. And Patricia, over to you.